I'm Adam.
I'm Dave.
And we're hunting USMC style. I'm Adam.
I'm Dave.
And we're hunting USMC style.
And today, we're talking about our bows. I'm Dave, and this is my bow. What we have here is a mid to early 90s PSC Thunderflight. You can get one of these bows on the cheap, $75 to $100. Usually it won't come with any of the stuff we've done here. So with about $150 in upgrades, you can have a bow that can pretty much take out any game in North America. So let me show you what we did to this bow. We put a Trophy Ridge whisker biscuit on here. We have a True Glow sight, which has the light, so you can turn it on or off, depending on if you're firing during the day or at dusk or dawn. We have a True Glow stabilizer. We also then put on a new True Glow quiver. All these upgrades together were about $150. Not that much when you count that your bow was only $75 to $100. So for around $250, you can have a fully functioning bow.
Let's see that sight. So now we did have to do some modification when we did this.
Which is common when you're using an older bow.
Right, so one of the things we had to do on the whisker biscuit, in order to get it nice and flush in there was a metal collet, had to be cut off. Dremel tool, real simple. And you can kind of see underneath the, you can see the washers right there. There's
right
a
here.
lip that if you don't washer out the sight, you'll end up with it crooked, which is going to affect your stuff. And pardon my phone, I should have put that on silent. I'm sorry for that, guys. So with this bow, you're shooting approximately 225, 250 feet per second, which is comparable. What do we got this set at right now? About 60 pounds?
It's about 60 pounds. You can go higher.
The guy said we could go 80. We haven't tried or tested that yet, but look forward to that as soon as we get a scale. We don't have one. One thing you should know, because you are using more of a traditional cam, you can see the cam up here. It's a lot more traditional than some of the modern bows. Even though you have it set for your draw length, there's no stop. So you see here
this is the draw length right here. However, if I want to pull more, I can, which pulls the cam down. You don't want to do that.
So it's really important when you're shooting an older bow that you have a good, understanding of of how you're set up, how you anchor in.
So make sure too, when you get an older bow like this, before you go shooting, go to another sporting store. We took ours to Cabela's. Great guy there. Cost me $15. Went over the whole bow, set everything, set the draw length, set the tension, all for $15. You don't want to risk your bow for something that cheap.
See, now something was interesting with this. If you look here, you have your adjustable. You can adjust your tension just like on most new modern bows with the screw right here. When this bow originally came to us, you could see how recessed into the riser the limb is. This was actually level with this edge right here. So if we would have fired this, which we did not knowing, we were very lucky that that screw held and that this whole bow didn't fall apart on us. So one of those reasons, like Dave said, take it to a place, have it checked out, make sure it's safe. It's a good looking bow, Dave.
It's a solid bow. As we'll show you in other videos when we shoot this at 20, 30, 40 yards, you'll see how this bow can stand up to all more newer and modern bows that we're going to show you next.
Speaking of new and modern, how about my bow, Dave? All right, I'm Adam. This is my bow. This is a Bear Crux. This, as far as I'm concerned, is considered a cookie cutter bow. It came from the factory, accessories on it. I didn't do anything. Well, I didn't do much. It has a Trophy Ridge sight. You can see the sight looks a lot like Dave's. Has the lights just like Dave's. Trophy Ridge quiver. It's got Trophy Ridge stabilizer. Now something Dave had, he had these little whiskers that were on his strings. Mine doesn't have that.
Right here.
Now in the next video you'll see I installed this Draves kisser button. That's going to be in our next video. The other thing, because I actually had a mistake, I dry fired this bow. When I dry fired it, I got very lucky that nothing ended up breaking. The arrow wasn't properly knocked, and I thought it was, which is what was the cause of the dry fire. The string came off the cams, so it popped off on both ends. I was able to restring it, but I did lose my peep sight. So I got a new peep sight. This is the Meta peep sight. This is the quarter diameter. So I got the green just because it matches into the string. Trophy Ridge whisker biscuit. And all in all, it's a nice bow. I really like it. This is going to set you back a little bit more. Dave didn't put as much money into his. This one, with a case, arrows, field tips, release, and the bow, I was out the door at just under $800. So you could put in a little bit more money. You could go modern. You go a little cheaper. You could go old. Either way, it's going to kill. And that's what we got it for. I don't want to hurt a deer. I don't want to hurt animals. I want to put them down as quickly and as humane as possible. So this is my bow.
Now, Adam, show them the difference when you pull your cams and how it stops on a modern bow.
So on a modern bow, you set your draw length through a couple different adjustments, but this is one of those pieces right here. So when I pull this bow back, notice that piece comes in contact with that string right there. I cannot pull this any further. Whereas Dave's got that little extra bit. And yes, again, I know, string, I don't have my release, I'm doing it with my hands, it's a little bit more control. Don't dry fire bows. You could damage your limbs, your cams. You could really mess up a bow if you do that. One more thing I want to talk to you about is our releases we got. Dave and I currently were shooting the same release because we don't know much better. We got the Scott Archery. It's the Samurai. It's a dual caliper, so if you notice as we move this, both claws, I guess they're called claws, I don't know, they both move at the same time. Very light release. One thing that it is the buckle. Through my research through online, the one thing I found is with the Velcro, one, it's going to be loud. Two, it's not going to be consistent. I know for me, if I go onto the third string, the third hole, it's nice on my wrist. It's going to stay consistent every time it's going to that hole. Velcro, you can move it around a little bit. So something to think about for you guys that are getting ready to start into this. Highly recommend a release. It's going to increase your accuracy. Highly recommend a buckle. And quite frankly, I've been really enjoying the Samurai by Scott's Archery. So this is a pretty good release. I've been enjoying it. Dave, how you like it?
It's a really good release. Also, one more thing when you're looking at the bows and when you're going to decide what kind of case, understand on an older bow, you're going to need a bigger case.
So here, we'll take this for example. If we take Dave's bow and try and fit it into my case. My case is, that's the case, everybody has this. This is the case that's at all your Cabela's, all your, your Gander Mountains. Everybody has this.
Now, again, that was the original case that I bought and had to return once I found out how much longer a bow like this is. I ended up getting a Plano, which is the same type of case, same brand. This one's called the Bone Collector, which gives it a little bit bigger case and a little bit more storage capacity in there.
So Dave, what do you say we take these bows outside, shoot a couple arrows out of each, let these guys see how they shoot, kind of see the performance a little bit, and see if maybe they can't hear how loud they are, because I know yours happens to be more quiet than mine.
Yes, let's go take a few shots and show you the differences and similarities between the older and newer bows. Okay, a couple things you want to check before you fire your bow. First, when you pull out your arrow, after you fired these, you want to make sure that they're screwed on tight. This one's fine, so you know that's good. When you go to set it up in the whisker biscuit, let it hold on. The white fletching, which is called the cock, you want straight up. Now when you first put the arrow in, it'll click once, that's not in. Make sure you pull it all the way in, otherwise you can easily get a dry fire. That kind of thing can take out your bow. You have your quiver. Once you found the spot that you want to shoot from, almost all quivers are at come off. With a simple flip up, your quiver comes right off, and it's out of the way for you shooting.
Now quivers are different. We're going to show you because mine does do differently. So we'll show you how mine comes off in a second here.
You have your hook onto your D-loop. Now, the most important thing when pulling back, you need constant pressure on this. If there is not at all, it can easily pop off and you're either going to misfire or have some sort of issue. Constant pressure, pull back, get in your knock position, look through your sight, line it up, fire. As you can see, it's right on. However, we're shooting a little close. So when we get to the video in which we're going to sighten our bows, that kind of shot is going to go low.
So what distance do you say we're shooting at right now, Dave?
I'd say we're about 6 or 7 yards, and our sighting in at 20.
All right.
We'll show you that in another video.
All right, so now as you saw on Dave's is this slides up and rotates and lifts. So a little bit different, but does the same thing. We usually have a string hanging on your branch. You only need one shot at a time. So, reiterate everything Dave said. I like to knock my arrow, make sure it's all the way in, drop it in the whisker biscuit. I do a quick visual. After that dry fire, I'm definitely being a little more careful. Constant pressure forward on the trigger. And now I should be shooting high because mine is pretty well sighted in. Mine's sighted in for 20. So we're going to be high at this close range. I hope you guys noticed the difference in sound, a little bit difference in looks, but both, like I said before, are going to humanely kill, and that's what we're here for. We don't want to hurt an animal.